So here we'll start with, you can give it a width like this, and then a height like that. So just like this, we've created an image. And keep in mind that this is still kind of HTML, so you can use some of the CSS that works here as well. So for example, I can add styles here and say I want to see this thing. So I want to put a shadow, and since Bootstrap has classes, we can just use a class by Bootstrap, which is known as shadow conveniently. But if you want to know how to make an actual shadow, I'll do that manually. Refresh, and there we go. So you see we have a box here, which is very nice. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Let's put 500, height 200. And there we go. So we have a box here, which is very nice. We can turn this into an actual thingy here, an actual graph. Okay, so there's a shadow there, nice. Or you can put a border as well, since Bootstrap already has that fixed for us. And there we go. So you see, we have this box right now. Now, the only problem with doing it this way, why I don't like doing it this way, is because I want to use the width for percentages, because I want this to be responsive. Because if I put it at maybe 500, the whole width of this thing, right? When it's time to refresh or resize to a responsive design, this won't resize because it's got a fixed width of 500, which is actually pixels, so it's limited. Now instead, I wanted to have a percentage for a width, right? A percentage like that. Now the only problem is, if I add a percentage, it means all the coordinate systems I use here should also be a percentage of the current width. So if I put something like, I want a rectangle that is at point, let's say 1000 x, 2000 y, right? The only problem is this coordinate will be outside the screen view because the width is 100%, right? This point is going to show when I am in the full view mode like this on a desktop, but this coordinate won't show when I'm on my mobile phone, because this coordinate is way off base here, and my image will resize, but then it will hide this. So instead of just saying this, let me actually show you how this works. So first of all, if I want to create a circle, all I need to do is, I think it's circle, if I'm not mistaken. Now this is a self-closing tag, of course. I think I don't even need to put the slash. So the thing it needs is this CX, like the center X. Where do I want this to be at? So I want this to be at 100, 100. Okay. And then I want the center Y, like I had mentioned earlier. Let's try 100 by 100 as well. Now I'll use styles to add the other information. I want to fill this thing with red. Okay, so let's see that in action. The thing has gone to 100%. This is at height 200. That's 100%. Oh, sorry, I forgot the radius. Okay, so what's the radius of this circle? Let's try 10 pixels, right? There we go. Ah, there we go. So finally we have something over there, but it's on the wrong place. And as you can see, this is because it's looking at the coordinate system is weird. Let me try 500 by 500 by 500 by 500, just so we can see it. Oopsie daisy. Actually, it doesn't know. It doesn't know what to do. Let me put this at 1000 because the coordinate system is a percent, so that's not really valuable, is it? Oh no. Oh, sorry, that's my bad actually. Sorry about that. 100%. I just want to put 100 here. This is not a coordinate, this is XY, so I don't know why I was giving 4 values. This is just insane. A center X is just one value and center Y is one value. Combined together it's 100, 100. I don't know why I was adding 4 numbers. Okay, so there we go. So our circle is right there, right? This is all good. But let's see if we, because it uses the coordinate system of the SVG, the top corner here is 0, 0 at the top there. This is maximum here, maximum there represents that bottom right corner there. So now I want to show you what happens when we're in responsive view. So this is 100%, right? And then I put a coordinate here and say 1000, 1000. Oh, not that much, 100. Let's just put it at 100. I just want more the X to move. So it's right there, you see. But now let's go to responsive design. And you see now we have a graph that doesn't show our dot, right? But if I do this, eventually I will see that dot there. You can see it disappears as I do this, because the view box is this one. Where what we're able to see, I guess, is this. This is like the window into this graphic. But the graphic still has coordinates that start from 0, 0 is here, and then it goes in pixels this way and that way. So it's not a very ideal situation, because then we're going to have missing data if we squeeze this image like this. So what I prefer to do is I put what is known as a view box like this, and then I will give it the basic coordinates here. So say this one is let's say 1300 by, so that's the width, 1300 by 100. I think Viewbox has 4 numbers. I have no idea why there are 4 numbers at all, but I think that's what it is. Okay, so the fact that it didn't give me my X and Y, I'm guessing this is the X and Y is second. So let's put 0, 0 like this. I think it has 4 numbers. I forget what the other numbers are for. But yeah, as you can see, what we really need. Oh, this is the start. The start coordinate will be 0, 0, and then the ending will be that, that. Okay, so makes sense. Let me put this at 200. Alrighty then. Now the beauty of this is this. If, for example, let's do a responsive design and zoom out. As you can see now, it's being squeezed accordingly, just like a normal image, right? The thing is getting smaller, but at least you see all of it just like a normal image, which is very nice. All right. So at this rate, we can now use the style and put width and give it a width, maybe 50%, like that. So if I tell you to have a width of 50%, it will shrink down, but you can still see my dot there. Okay, so those are the basics in action. But let's think about our own graph. What resolution do we want? So it's good to have a round off number like 1000 pixels, and then it's really up to you. You can increase these over time. It's not a big deal. So I'll say 1000 by maybe 500. Let's see. Okay, there we are. This is the, I think 400 is better. And then the width, let's put it at 100% like this. So let's see. Okay, so there is our graph right there. So we'll have a graph here. So nice, now we have an area to work with. So let's see how to create an actual line. So we have a dot there, and we know quite well how to create the dot. Let's move it to our center at 500 there. There we go. And then you can have a outline as well. So the outline is called a stroke, and you can say stroke black like this. That's the stroke color. So fill is the color, stroke is the outline. You see, you can increase the stroke width as well. Sorry, stroke width for pixels, let's put it at 4, and there we go. So you can see those things there. Pretty cool. So now let's create a graph that will look nice. Okay, so the only thing we're going to do now we have a view box here that's 1000 by 400. That's nice. Now what I want to do is this. Let's see, we'll make this graph thing reusable, so that anytime we have something to put inside the graph, we just give it the data and it will generate the graph by itself. Okay, so what I want to do is create what is known as a polyline. Now the polyline is just a zigzag line that goes around in any direction that you want. It's just a continuous broken line like this. It could be something like that. So because this is normally what we use for when creating a graph. Now the line can be like this, it can go in any direction that you want. It's up to you. So as long as you give it the coordinates that it needs. So in a line like this, for example, let's say the line is like so, and then it goes up, comes down, goes through to create a graph, right? So all you have to give it is the coordinate here, another one there, and the next one here, the next one there, etc., etc. And that's it. Then you create a polyline. So let's see how that would look. So say polyline like so, and let's close that baby there. Let's give it a style first of all. I want it to have a stroke width of maybe, let's make it thick, so 4. And then let's look at the stroke color. Stroke will be, let's try black so that we can really see it. And then let's look at the coordinates. So, oh my god, I have forgotten completely what do you call this? The coordinate line I code. Oh, by the way, I haven't mentioned, you can search if you don't understand anything about SVG, just type SVG tutorial, and then you're going to have W3 schools here link, which is pretty nice, and they show you how to do things like, for example, creating a circle and a polyline or a polygon. The difference between a polyline and a polygon is that a polygon has a fill color here. So it's not just a line, it means once you end, like let's say you end your graph here, there'll be another line coming back to the origin. So then you have to fill this with a color. Now you have to be careful with this because sometimes it will go like this and then end there, then it will still make a line back to the origin. So it will be better if you're using this, you make sure that you reset it to the same level so that when the line comes back, it comes back down there and looks much better. So that's the difference between a polyline and a polygon. Okay. Now the problem is I've switched off my internet, so I can't really click on a polyline and expect something. I just have to remember what I use here. You see, the thing is, oh my god, this flew. The thing is, I know how to create SVG files here manually like this, but what I do is usually once, let's say I'm creating a special type of graph, I'll create it and then I'll create a class out of that thing so that I don't have to worry about redesigning it anymore once I create it the first time. So this creates a problem. Sometimes I end up forgetting things about how to create these things, how to create SVG, because I rarely repeat myself. Once I make one graph, then I'll make a class to help me to just push in data and it will generate the graph by itself. Oh yeah, I've remembered, it's points. Yes, there we go. So the points right there. Let's start with a point. Now you have to remember that this coordinate system is kind of upside down, right? The 0, 0 is here. So if I want to start from the bottom there, I have to do the maximum on the y-axis. So the very bottom should be the maximum. And then if I'm going to move up to here, maybe the half point, and then I have to move there as well. So this is the x coordinate and this is the y coordinate. So let's start by saying 100 on the x, or let's try 0 on the x so that we put that point, and maximum on the y. So our maximum is 400. So let's start with x, which is 0, 400. So that's the very bottom. Let's leave a space and then let's come up a little bit. So I want half in the y. So the y is 400. What about in the x? In the x I want 100, half of the y, which is 100. Just those two, we should have a line. And there we go. So you see it from the bottom there, it goes boop. So now we need to move on the x-axis to maybe 200, and then let's find a value on the y-axis that is a bit lower. So let's try and say on the x we have 200, and then on the y I want half, which is still 100, but no, let's try 150 just so we can have a variation. Oopsie daisy. Okay, so it looks like even Polyline has a fill color. That's interesting. But let's do this. Let's remove the fill. I'm just going to say fill none. Okay. So that we can just see the outline itself. But you can put back the fill. That's up to you. I think we will put it back. Yeah, I kind of like it. All I want to know is, can I put a transparent color on the fill? Which I think I can. Let's try that with a hexadecimal number, and then let's put a final 44 for transparency. So a transparent black. Oh, look at that, it actually works. Pretty cool. But what I want is, let's try E, like so. Very cool. Okay, so now that we understand what's going on, and then I can put a circle here, for example. Let me do that. So that it looks like a joint, a proper joint. So let's do circle, and let's close that circle. Let's add some styles. Stroke. Let's try stroke. What color will be the stroke? Black. Let's fill it with white. Let's put the stroke width 4 pixels. Let's put the points now. The radius will be, I don't know, what did I put? 4. And then center X is equal to, and then center Y is equal to. So I want it on this particular point, 100 by 100, so 100 and 100. Then I also want one here at 200, but anyway, let's look at that same one that has been created. So keep in mind that this is just like HTML. The thing that's down here is written last. This one is written first. So anything that's down here will be on top of this one. So we want the circle to be on top. Radius 4, center X, Y. So what have I missed here? Stroke black, fill white, stroke width 4. Let's try black everything, just in case we are not seeing it. No, that's not the point. Okay, let me remove the polyline. So it is right there. So why can't I see it? It's underneath. Okay, let me move it higher on the Y, maybe 50. Okay. That's very strange. What is going on? Right.